Hey everybody, welcome. Happy March 1st. It's the first Friday of the month. It just happens to be the first day of the month as well. Woohoo! We are back for our monthly live stream, Friday live stream.
Yeah.
And you've got me, Aaron Blades. You got Dustin over my right shoulder. You got Nick over my left shoulder.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And today, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun. We're going to, Dustin and Nick went out this morning. They're busy shooting Dustin's digital photography class.
Yes, wildlife photography course.
Yes,
It's
and
very exciting.
they got some really cool shots of ospreys in flight. And I thought, it'd be kind of fun to take some nature photography and mix it together with some fantasy visual development type flying machines, these birds flying, and then turn them into flying machines. I thought that'd be fun to do today.
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. But as usual, we've always got sales and all kinds of fun things going on. So I'm going to hand it over to Nick.
Yeah, so first of all, before we get too deep into this, I want to let you know that this is the first of a two-part stream once again. So after this stream, we're going to be jumping over to our members-only Discord server. We've got a little slide about that, Dustin. Not a big deal, but if you become a member over at Creature Our Teacher, or if you're already a member, when we wrap up today, we're going to be jumping over to the members-only Discord server. So if you're not yet a member, go on over to Creature Our Teacher, become a member. Not only do you get all of the courses on the website, you get twice weekly private streams to Snow Bear, and you also get special Discord events like the one we're going to do right after this stream.
And if you're growing up in the 80s, you can bring your members-only jacket.
Exactly. I've got mine. And let's see, we've got a bunch of other stuff to do. Armand Serrano's course is out today. It's out now. It's still available this weekend only for a limited pre-order price of only $10. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary at Creature Our Teacher. Actually, people might not know that since our last public stream. So it's been 10 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Since we launched Creature Our Teacher, and we're celebrating all month long. So one of the deals that we've got going is Armand Serrano's background, how to paint and design a background layout is only $10. That ends on Monday, and that course is out now. It's also your last weekend, for real, your last chance to get Aaron's character design course for only $1. The price goes back up to regular price on Monday. All good things must come to an end. We've had it at $1 for a long time. You can get it's a 16 plus hour course, over 20 videos included, where Aaron takes you through his approach to character design. This is the last call to get that course for
Yes.
last call. But as all good things come to an end, new beginnings also happen. And so starting today, you can get our
Super Beats.
Super beats.
My Super Beats heart chews. They're delicious.
well, somebody said the mic cut out.
Mine?
Is there no audio on any of those slides?
There should be.
Well, I'm going to start drawing.
Yeah.
Do we have audio now?
We have audio now.
All right. Well, let me show you what we got, you guys.
I don't think anybody could hear the audio on the slides. We'll have to look at that.
Here we go. So, your audio? They couldn't hear you?
Oh, it was just the anatomy course slide, they said.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, then repeat yourself.
Oh, well, okay. So for people who missed what I was saying, the anatomy course, our How to Draw a Human anatomy course, is only $1. for a limited time. So you can no longer get character design for $1 after Monday, but you will be able to get the streaming version of How to Draw Human Anatomy, or you can add lifetime downloads for $5 more.
Come Monday. All right. Here's some awesome osprey pictures that Dustin shot today. And
And these are completely unedited right now. The only thing that is edited is the cropping, and that's it.
Blah, 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 blah. It's okay. They look great. So this, when I saw this image, I thought, man, that would make a really cool backpack flying machine. Kind of I don't know, some kind of fantasy winged Leonardo da Vinci type flying machine. I think it'd be really neat. So I thought, man, why don't we do that today? So I've got several, and we'll mess around with some different ideas. I've got that. I pulled this off the internet just to get a little sense of, Leonardo da Vinci-esque looks. A little steampunkish, maybe. It's not quite steampunk, but that sort of thing. So, with that being said, I'm going to put these back up here on my other monitor so they're not cluttering up my space down here. There we go.
Soundy just hopped in and says, "Hi everyone, came into the blah 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 blah."
Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. All right, there. Oops. There we go. So there's a few poses in here I'm really digging. This one here too is really cool. Sorry guys, I'm just getting all set up. So let's just start scribbling. Start scribbling away. And you guys can shoot me some questions.
Sure will. Just a moment. Just getting some stuff set up over here.
One pose I like this. First, I want to figure out. I want to kind of match the anatomy.
YouTube question: what do you think caused your interest in animals and made you want to draw them so much?
I don't know. I think I've always had kind of a deep empathy towards nature and animals, and I've always, even as a kid, I always saw them as, I don't know, soulful creatures, and I was always fascinated by them, and I grew up very close to nature. And so yeah, it's I don't know, because it's hard to answer that because it's just always been a love of mine. It's always been a part of me.
Twitch question: will David Coleman make any new courses? Absolutely, yes, he will. He's got 3 courses on our website now. If people don't know who David Coleman is, he is an Emmy Award winner, character designer. He's also a story artist for films. He's a great wildlife artist, and he's actually working on a new course now. He's doing it in between. He's a very busy guy in the industry, so he's doing it as he can. It's probably going to be a couple months before that's available. But yes, more courses from David Coleman coming soon. We've also got a course coming real soon for 2D effects animation from Joey Mildenberg. That'll be our next course out. And then right behind that, we've got a new course from Marco Bucci that's almost finished and ready to go. And as we mentioned, Dustin is working on a photographing wildlife course. So yeah, we've got this. I think this is going to be the most courses we've ever put out in a single year. That's our goal.
And I like that.
So
yes, it's keeping me busy.
Yep.
In a very
so
good way.
There's never been a better time to become a member. If you become an annual member, it gets you everything on the website, plus everything we'll release over the next 12 months, and it's all yours to keep.
Art Garcia asks, have you ever had pet reptiles? I recently got a leopard gecko, and he's adorable.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we caught alligators every once in a while. We'd keep them in our aquarium, me and my buddies.
YouTube question. Aaron, I've got a question about your pen and ink drawings. I've started using the toned gray paper like you do, but I'm struggling with how much detail to put down. I tend to either do too much or too little.
Well, pick a spot in the middle. I'm not sure. I don't know what to tell you about that. It's all a matter of
Taste.
taste,
Right?
yeah, and where you want to stop. Yeah, yeah. If you're either doing too much or too little, then stop in the middle, I guess. I'm not sure what to tell you on that. Sorry.
When you when you haven't done enough, do some more, and when you've done too much, when you think you've done too much, stop. But I mean, overworking an image is a very common thing. I tend to be of the camp that less is more. Usually, just there's exceptions to that. Certainly, some people, Kim Jong-gi had a style where he could add an infinite amount of detail, and it always looked amazing. It never looked overworked.
Oh, Kim Jong-gi.
Yeah.
Ross Wiley on Facebook says, I really love the laid-back, informative courses. Did teaching come naturally to you, or was it something that you really had to work at?
I've always, working at Disney, we always mentored and shared our processes with one another, always. And I had up-and-coming animators that mentored under me as well. And so and I had great teachers along the way too, so I was able to learn off of them on how to teach. So I always had somebody there to learn from, and I was able to apply that to the way I teach. And over time, you get better at it as well. Drawing and talking and working at the same time is not something that comes naturally, and you got to work at it. I'm just trying different ideas here.
On YouTube, have you ever drawn Muay Thai body postures before?
No, I don't know what that is.
Muay Thai is fighting. It's a
fighting style.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't.
I think I'm going to get murdered for this, but I think it's similar to Thai boxing. I think like Thai kickboxing style.
Okay. We do an alternate version.
What boundaries did you have on Brother Bear while directing the movie?
What boundaries?
What boundaries? Like, I'm guessing what limitations?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what, in reference to what. I don't know what you mean by what boundaries. We had a lot of free reign to make the type of story we wanted to make. We did a ton of research to make sure that we were telling culturally, we were being culturally sensitive. We were making up our own culture, and that's why we set the time period of Brother Bear so far back. We did that, so we could create our own culture as well. This is kind of fun. Let's see here. I'm gonna increase the size of the wings.
From YouTube, weird question. Have you ever injured your shoulder to where you couldn't draw? And if so, how did you work through it?
No, I never have.
Have you ever visited Australia or New Zealand?
No, and it's high on our list, actually. Nick and I both want to get down there quite a bit. We've pretty much been everywhere else. But no, we haven't been down there yet, and we'd love to go.
And Muhammad asks, I'm struggling with solid drawing when I'm drawing in betweens and breakdowns. Any advice?
Flip your paper. Think about the shapes. Think about those shapes that you're animating and flip a lot. That's one thing people don't do. And they get caught up in the lines when they're trying to do their in-betweens and they're not thinking about the shapes that they need to be animating. And so that's a big part of it. Think about those shapes and flip your paper a lot. I don't know about the logic on this yet. I'm not sure how it works yet. Of this machine, this here machine. Let's have some fun with this. I'll just do a quick tie down on it.
I've seen you wear a glove on your hand while animating. What is that for?
That was when I was animating in Procreate on my on my iPad. Wearing a glove helps you it keeps you from creating lines with your palm. It doesn't pick up the touch on your palm. And so you don't end up making extra lines where you don't want to. If I explain that right.
Yes, that made sense to me. Will you be doing any more Procreate tutorials? That was an Instagram question.
Oh yeah, I mean we don't have anything planned right now, but we definitely will be doing more at some point. So when I do something like this, I'm really just making up very quickly little straps and gears and levers that don't necessarily mean anything. They just look good. And then I can figure out the logic later.
Jason on Facebook says in your human anatomy and character design courses, you often draw hair, though never focus on hair, which remains a struggle for me. Have you ever considered a supplemental hair lesson?
You know what? I haven't, but that's a great idea. That's the first time we've had a request like that, at least that I know of. I would love to do something like that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Thanks for that.
I like the sound of that. Fox Arts on YouTube says, "Hi, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, E? I was wondering if you were thinking about a course on house cats and different dog breeds."
Yes, we are thinking. Well, I haven't thought about one for house cats, but we definitely have gotten a lot of requests for different dog breeds, domestic dog breeds, and so we'll do something like that in the future. I think I think we had talked about doing like the top 10 most popular dog breeds. Start there, and then maybe do supplemental stuff down the road.
Right.
What are some of the steps involved in researching for animation?
Well, it depends on what you're animating. So if you're talking about research for just animation techniques, there's all kinds of stuff out there. But if you're talking about or researching subject matter, For me, it's nowadays you can just start with Google and you start working there. But I tried to get as much film footage as I can. A lot of times I go to the places that my films take place. I've done many research trips in the past regarding what it is that I may or the location of where a film might take place. And you soak it up. You go in, you learn about culture, you learn about the nature of the place, depending on what your story is about, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Bob says that's quite a dynamic pose you've got there.
He's a flying.
Oh, he's flying all right. Flying a little too close to the sun there, bud.
This is Icarus.
Twitch question. Do you see future generations picking up 2D animation in their retirement years?
Sure, why not?
I don't know why they got to wait till their retirement
Yeah,
years.
that's an interesting question.
Martin's here.
Lots of people saying they like the idea of a hair class or a hair lesson, by the way.
Oh, good.
Instagram question. What are your thoughts about animated web series? That's basically cartoons on YouTube.
Yeah. You know what? We're totally into it. Nick and I want to come up with some for ourselves, as a matter of fact, and we'd love to be involved in making some in the future. So yeah, absolutely.
And Joe on Instagram says or asks, I'm struggling with timing. Is there an exercise you would recommend to have a better understanding of timing?
Timing is so subjective. It's a tough thing to teach, and because everybody has their own tastes in with how they time things. The best advice I always got was keeping texture in your timing, and it's sort of like music. And I always talk about music in relation to timing on an animation. If you listen to music that's very even and is not dynamic, it becomes boring. And it's the same with timing in animation. If you can get your animation to be dynamic in the way that music can be dynamic, then you'll end up with something that's much more interesting to watch. When your animation gets even, then it loses interest. It'll lose the audience.
Again, I want to let people know that are just joining us that starting today, you can get Armand Serrano's course on background painting and design. It's out now. You can get that for just $10 through Monday. The price goes up on Monday. And in addition, starting today, you can now get our hugely popular How to Draw Human Anatomy course for just $1. That's $1 for one of our most popular courses. And this is your last chance to get character design with Aaron Blaze for just $1. So that's a bunch of courses on sale this weekend. Creature Art Teacher. Be there or be square.
I'm just completely making stuff up. Just off the top of my head, just making things up as I go. Trying to make it look mechanical. In a very quick, rough sketch kind of way.
Erica says, replying to Martin, I've already started Armand Serrano's new course.
Oh, of course you have, Erica.
She'll probably have it finished by the end of the stream.
Yes.
Chantel asks, is this by chance a cyberpunk inspired piece?
No, it's not. It's just I'm just I saw these photos that Dustin took.
Did you show any of the reference photos?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was
You
reading
weren't paying
comments.
attention.
I was reading comments and
In fact, I'm going to show this one really quick to show where this inspiration's coming from. Whoops.
Here's a very short question. What can you say about James Baxter, Ruben Aquino, Tony Bancroft, Will Finn, and Nick Raniere, Aaron?
They're all jerks. No, they're not. I'm kidding. They're all great animators. What else can I say about them? They're fantastic. So here's the inspiration. Here's the osprey flying. And, I like the idea of the tail. Like, put some kind of tail on here.
That's probably what it's missing.
Your aeronaut looks like Nick.
Yeah.
Got the beard. Actually, I wonder if the tail should somehow be controlled by the almost like the wing, almost like a wingsuit sort of thing.
Yeah, it could be. Come up with a different one. Yeah, these poses are always fun to do. These types of. When I was a kid, I used to love to draw stuff like this. Make them segmented.
How did you join the Disney animation crew in Florida?
I interned. I was an intern. I went to Ringling College of Art and Design in Sarasota, Florida from 1986 to 1989. And while I was at school, I was accepted into an internship 1987 or 88. And that's when I went to California and trained, and I was hired as an animator after that training. And then Disney opened up the studio, or they were building the studio, I should say, in Orlando. And I was hired at the end of my internship in 1988 for when the studio opened in 1989. And so that's how I came to be there.
Quite impressive.
I don't know what the feathers would be made out of, but some kind of material, stiff material that is wedged into these bodies. Who's going to see Dune 2? All right. Sounds great.
I want to see it. I thought you were asking the audience. I was waiting for replies.
I was.
Crispy Cactus on Twitch says, I saw it yesterday. How was it? Don't spoil it, but tell us how it was.
Did you watch it yesterday, Dad?
No. We forgot. We were going to go see it and we forgot. I wouldn't have left without you.
Zanji wants to know, Aaron, how did you feel generally about the student work you saw after Saturday's live workshop?
I loved him. Loved him.
It was okay, I guess.
I'm super stoked at people taking the advice and learning. And that's the part that I just always love. And that people were doing things that they'd never done before.
YouTube comment from Flavio, by the way. All the courses are amazing on your site. This is my second year as a member, and I do highly recommend to become a member to everyone.
Thank you.
Speaking of which, if you're enjoying this stream or you enjoy Aaron's streams, we're having a members-only stream immediately following this one over on our Discord server. So as soon as we wrap up here, which I'm thinking is going to be in about an hour. I'm not quite sure. I put on there an approximate time frame, but I didn't know how long you were going to go. So as soon as we wrap up here, we're going to jump up over there. So hopefully If you're not a member yet, you can join and sign up. We have both an annual plan and a monthly streaming plan. And those get access to over 700 hours of lessons, courses, Photoshop brushes, artist reference photo packs, all kinds of stuff. So, and you get twice weekly live streams where Aaron is working on an animated short film called Snow Bear that are only accessible to members. Crispy Cactus says, I thought it was really good. I heard they changed a few things compared to the books, but as someone who hasn't read the books, I really enjoyed the movie.
Oh, awesome.
I'm actually of the opinion I always recommend watching a movie first and then reading the book. A lot of people are the other way
You're
around.
always, why? Because you're always disappointed, or what?
Well, no, yeah. If you watch a movie first, then you get to enjoy the movie, and then you get to really enjoy the book when you find all the extra stuff that you missed.
Oh, that's interesting.
When you
I've
go
never
the
thought
other
of it
way
that
around and if you read a book first, you're almost always disappointed by the movie because you have images in your head of what it should look like, or because there's no possible way to adapt a book typically and include everything because just the nature of the format. And I think if you watch, and Steve and I have talked a lot about this was one of his theories as well, which is if you watch the movie first, you get two things to enjoy as opposed to one thing to enjoy and one thing to be disappointed in.
That's interesting. It's an interesting point. I don't know I'd agree, but I totally get it. One of my favorite books as a kid growing up obviously was The Hobbit, and knowing The Hobbit going into the movie I thought was kind of fun.
Well, The Hobbit specifically, wait, are you talking about the Peter Jackson Hobbit or the cartoon Hobbit?
The Peter Jackson.
Well, see, they added a whole bunch of
I know
stuff
they added a whole bunch of stuff,
which is unusual. Usually with a movie.
which I didn't agree with.
Right.
So
Usually with movies, they're deleting stuff.
yeah. I wonder if I would have been read the book afterwards and gone, where's the rest?
Yeah, so YouTube comment, I always read first and then get disappointed in the film later. So with Game of Thrones, I watched season 1 before reading the book, and the book was still better. Right, but you got the enjoyment out of season 1 of Game of Thrones, right? Yeah, that is the one flaw. If you watch the movie first, you tend to lose the imagination of what the character looks like in your head. Because, yeah, you do start to picture the
It
character.
is amazing, though, how accurate it is if you've read the book first and then you see the film. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty much what I expected. It doesn't happen often, but it's happened before.
When was the last time you visited Ringling, and what has changed since your days there as a student?
Everything has changed since I was there. I mean literally everything. I don't know that there's anything there
Building-wise,
that was there when I was there. The campus was completely different. The last time I was there was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, we were there right after the new library opened.
Yeah.
We walked through that. And that's been about 5 years, I want to say.
I mean, 1986, when I went, there were dorms that were brand new. They had just built them, and we were the first ones to use them. And those dorms are gone now. So that's how long it's been since I've been there.
There also was no animation major.
Oh yeah, it was only 500 students total when I went there, and there was no animation major at all. Yeah, you're right.
And they've added tons of other majors since then. I mean, since I graduated from Ringling in 2002, and they've added tons of majors.
Yeah, when I went, it was fine art, illustration, interior design, graphic design, maybe photography. I don't know if photography was a major.
Photography was a major when I was there.
We had to take photography, but I can't remember if it was a major. And that was it. Those were all the majors.
Do they still teach traditional way of animating?
Who's they?
Ringling.
I think it's a class. I don't think it's a.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't say if it still is, but 20 years ago when I was a student, they still had traditional animation. And the last I heard, they still had a class, but it's not that you don't get a degree in 2D animation. It's a 3D computer animation program.
So there's Nick if he had a flying machine
Nice.
strapped to his back.
Whee!
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I didn't think this through.
Hey, you got a helmet on. You're okay.
Oh, okay.
I just picture you just running off the runway up a side of a mountain. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why is it this 2D traditional animation style has solely been abandoned by our beloved studios, therefore only exists in social media?
Well, that's not quite true. 2D animation still exists with quite a few studios, especially in Europe. But there is a
Japan.
in Japan, yeah, especially in Japan.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of studios got it in their heads that 3D was what the audiences wanted, rather than just thinking and realizing that it's great stories. And I think the story formula in a lot of the 2D studios in the 90s got a little old. Formulaic, yeah.
Oh, also Ireland has 2D animation.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Who
saying.
said
Europe.
Europe?
Yeah. But so I think it's with streaming now, and a lot of studios coming into being, and the ability to make 2D is a little easier or less expensive now. I think we're going to see more.
When is Nick's flying contraption course coming out?
So there's one. It's kind of fun.
And V says, "Come Monday, it'll be all right."
Let's do this. Let's
Question: have you seen the trailer for Robot Dreams?
I have not.
No, but I know it was nominated for the Oscar for Best Short, I believe.
It was, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think do you think 512 gigs is enough for animating on an iPad?
Yes. That's what I have.
Yeah. More than plenty. Do you have any tips on making a comic book?
think of it as storyboarding, except, there's a whole, and I'm not good at, I'm not one to teach comic book art because I don't know a lot of the rules. It's not something that I've done. But as far as telling sequential imagery stories, from the storyboard standpoint, that all will apply to comic books. The part that I'm not super practiced at is the layout. How, the dynamic ways of laying out a comic book to guide the eye through it. Those are things that I'm not sure about. So there's one, which is, I kind of
I've
like
got
this.
somebody that I've been talking to about trying to do a graphic design or comic course for us. So I'm hoping in the future it comes together. That's something I'd like to have in the future.
Oh, cool.
That'd be sweet.
So I want to do this one next. Love this pose. I think that could be super dynamic.
Dynamic.
Dynamic. I'm going to turn this one off for right now.
Oh, Robot Dreams is not a short, it's a feature. Really?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is a feature. I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It has
saw-
no dialogue. Wally originally was supposed to have no dialogue. Fun
It
fact.
was. It was originally meant to Andrew Stanton, who is the director, very passionately wanted to make it dialogue free. Ed Catmull was integral in making sure that it did have some dialogue because he was convinced that people would check out, which I completely disagree with.
YouTube comment. If you're looking for a degree in 2D, Lipscomb University seems like a good school nowadays. It's where Tom Bancroft is.
Both.
They're both there now as teachers. The Bancroft brothers.
Oh, I'm on the wrong layer.
And Aaron's given a few talks there.
I have.
Sir Blaze, aren't you confused with all the icons on your desktop?
All the icons?
All the icons, like all the app icons.
Where?
Just all the icons in general on your desktop. I don't know where they're seeing your.
I don't know where they're seeing my desktop. Oh, no, because I don't look at the icons. So.
Now that we've got more people on, it's also a good time to mention we've got some new merchandise on the website right now.
We do.
We just released in time for hoodie weather and in celebration of our 10th anniversary and also Snow Bear, a brand new hoodie, a Snow Bear hoodie. It's got an embroidered Snow Bear logo on the front and original artwork on the back. And we've actually got one right here.
Hey, Dustin, go to the full screen or full me. Full me,
Full you.
because it's all about me. So here's my XXX large. Sorry, my sleeves are inside out.
Why would you do that?
But here it is. Nice and comfy, soft and warm. Hopefully I'm not drowning everybody out. We've got nice embroidery right here of Snow Bear. And then on the back, the cool part is we've got our polar bear. There we go. We got our polar bear and Snow Bear right there on the back. These are our official production hoodies.
Just in time for hoodie weather. And we've also put out some brand new mugs as well. If you go back to the slide, Justin, I don't have one of the physical mugs here. We've got a brand new mug that's got Aaron's, catchphrase, put some beauty back in the world, available as well.
Quite exciting stuff.
And you can get both of those if you go to creatureartteacher.com/merch. How is it that in many years as entertainment as you have, you've never tried to work in 3D?
I've never done a project that, well, I take that back. I did work in 3D. I was directing a film in 3D.
You've directed a couple 3D projects.
But it takes a lot of time to master the hard or the software, and it's just not something that's presented itself to me. I don't know what I'm saying.
What do you think? It was an Instagram question. What do you think about art style? Is it better to have one and stick with it, or is it to stay open to every style of animation, ergo cartoon, manga, semi-realism?
That's a personal choice. That's really personal. I think, some people stick to a certain style. I think my style has evolved into, this Disney style that I've done for 35 years. And so it's hard for me to break out of it. But, there's all kinds of, it's whatever floats your boat, really.
Although we are working on an interesting project developing, who knows, might see a whole new style.
That's right.
Or not.
Oh, I think we might. We might.
Where'd you get the inspiration for your quote of put some beauty back into the world?
I don't know. I feel like as artists, we have an obligation to do that, to get people to see things differently, and to, that's how I like to think about it. Not to, be too self-important, but I just think we have an opportunity that's, as artists, we have unique opportunities to get people to see differently.
Are the hoodies oversized or true sizes? There's a size chart on the page if you go there.
But they're pretty accurate too, because I've got a big body, and they fit pretty well for the size that I get.
And we've got small all the way up through 3XL.
Trying to get a good silhouette here.
I wish you made slippers. It's too cold here. Crispy Cactus on Twitch asks, being able to adapt to different styles would probably be helpful when searching for a job, wouldn't it? Since that style can vary from studio to project.
But once again, that goes down to if you need to do that, if that's where you're at in your career.
Yeah, it's interesting, because I would say if you're starting out, absolutely being able to adapt to different styles is essentially a necessity. But sometimes people become in demand because of their specific style, and it's hard to say,
Yeah.
Art is not a field where it's like do XYZ and you'll get ABC result. Everybody's path is a little different. Everybody's experiences are different. Sometimes it's luck of the draw and the projects that you get to work on.
Truth, all true.
Do you listen to music when animating on your own?
I do.
What kind of music?
All kinds of stuff. If you join me every Tuesday and Thursday, if you become a member at Creature Art Teacher, you get to listen to the music that I listen to. And anybody that's watching right now that's with me every Tuesday and Thursday can attest to it. I listen to a lot of music.
Majestic Wolfster asks on Twitch, "Hey Aaron, I've had a hard time with perfectionism when I draw, and I end up getting mad and often throwing away the drawing. How do you let loose and just enjoy drawing?"
I just love drawing. And yeah, I mean, that's frustration happens, but you know, it's just a drawing. It's just a drawing. You know, that's just enjoy the process.
Drawing is just a drawing.
Yeah, don't worry about the outcome. I know that sounds odd because you're sitting down to make a drawing and you want it to look nice, but enjoy the process for the process. Not it's they kind of say the same thing, like if you're working out and you get too fixated on the gains or the results,
Yeah.
you'll set yourself up for disappointment. Whereas if you just go in with the mindset of I'm going to enjoy working out today, you'll have a better time. So progress comes in little fits and stops and starts and plateaus. It's not a direct line. Roanne says now it's time to put some hoodies back into the world.
Yeah. Do you watch anime?
I'd like Miyazaki's films. I don't watch a lot of anime, no.
Yeah, I'm kind of the anime fan of the group.
Not because I dislike anime, it's just not a genre that I'm really familiar with, and I've never really pursued it.
Though we did a little while ago, we did go see The Boy and the Heron by
Yeah.
Miyazaki.
Yeah.
And that was actually a very interesting film.
Erica says the membership streams are amazing and the annual membership is definitely worth the money. Thank you, Erica.
Erica who?
So again, I want to let people know that are just joining us. Out today is a brand new course from Armand Serrano. You can get it for only $10 until Monday. The price goes up on Monday. It's Armand Serrano teaches you how to design and paint a background. He kind of takes you through the line work, through gray tone value, and then through adding color and finally digital paint over. So it's a full process on a background and his approach to drawing a background. It talks about research and all kinds of stuff that goes into it.
And by the way, folks, I was joking about Erica. Erica's our number one student. Number one.
And that's available now at creatureartteacher.com. Also, we've got, after this stream, immediately after, we're going to be jumping over to our members only Discord server. So if you enjoy this stream, you might want to consider picking up either a monthly or annual streaming membership at creatureartteacher.com, both of which are on sale right now. And you can join us for more live streams. And we've got some plans over the next couple of weeks to have some of our other teachers both here on YouTube and Facebook and these public channels, but also doing some events on our Discord server.
I think I want to pull the wing down, even though it's different.
What brush is it that you're using?
I'm using my Pastel C brush. It's one of my custom brushes that you can get at the website.
Yeah, you can get it for free automatically if you sign up for our newsletter, which is just join the newsletter pop-up right on the homepage. Or you can get it as part of brush set number 1, which I will put a link in the comments.
There we go.
I really like drawing fantasy characters like elves. I have such a hard time drawing hair. It seems to look plastered to the skull. Any advice?
Think of hair in shapes and clumps, and look at reference. Look at different hairstyles. That's how that's where you're going to learn. Look at a lot. We see a lot of us think that I know how to draw hair because I have hair, and but we don't tend to look at other styles, and so you're kind of pigeonholing yourself. So try looking at some reference because that will definitely help. There we go. That feels better. I like that better. There we go.
What drawing program is this that you're using?
This is Photoshop. I am working in Photoshop today. I've worked in Photoshop for almost 20 years. So actually, I have worked in it for 20 years. So it's my preferred digital drawing software to use.
Hey, Aaron, Dustin, Nick, uh, can you share how you're dealing with the burnout?
You just keep
Push through it.
pushing through. Yeah, I don't get burned out. I do get burned out. I take that back. I get burned out just like anybody else. But I take breaks and I take vacation when I need to, but I also just keep pushing through. You know, we've been, a good example is our snow bear project. We've been, this is something we've had percolating for 7 years now, and we're still trying to get it done. And you just keep working it, and you stay focused. You keep your eye on the prize, and you don't get sidetracked onto other things. That's a big one.
Yeah, and actually, it's keeping a schedule.
That's
is a big
actually
part
that's
of
a
it.
great that's a great point. Yeah.
Keeping a schedule, treating art like a job.
Which we very much do. We very much treat it like a job.
Well, it is our job.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, it can be tricky. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when you're trying to, I heard somebody say years ago that you've got your work relationships, your romantic relationships, and your like friend relationships, and your work life, your home life, and your friend life, basically like your social life. And very rarely are all three of those going great at the same time. There's always one that's like, and so sometimes, it can be tough. I think Aaron and I are both guilty a little bit of being workaholics. So, when you work for yourself and you have your own business, it can be hard to strike a balance.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of times where, Vedanta, I'll be sitting here on a Sunday or a Saturday, and she said, "Hey, I thought you said you weren't going to work today."
Right.
And you go off and you've got to make time for not just yourself, but your family as well, if you have a family.
Yeah, and I've got a 7-year-old son, and so I decided to be a t-ball coach. Now we're moved up into machine pitch, and it's jumped up the time commitment. We have practice 2 nights a week, and then games on Saturdays, and all while I'm trying to film courses with Dustin, and so. But the best
Time management.
It's the best thing you can do. Exactly. Is just try to schedule your time and make it, stick to a schedule.
Schedule the time to do it.
I'm also a big believer in putting stuff on a calendar, like things like vacations or getting together with family or getting together with your friends that you haven't seen in a long time. Otherwise, stuff tends to just be like, "Oh yeah, we should do that."
Yeah, and it never happens.
and it never happens. But if you break out the calendar and go, hey, let's do this on this weekend, all
Yeah.
of a sudden it becomes real. Will you do MegaCon Orlando next year?
Probably.
Probably yes. We didn't do it
Yes.
this year because it snuck up on us, and we think we're going to next year.
Once again, I'm just kind of making up details as I go in here.
Yeah, Martin says one thing that I've learned over the last few years is that doing small steps is better than waiting for the chance when everything is perfect, because that day might never come. So even if you can just set aside 1 hour a day, do what
Yep,
you have,
that's
you
true.
know, and then make it a habit.
That's
And
a
I would
good
agree
one.
with that for sure. It's really good advice. Matthew says, hey, Aaron, I'm a professor in a college animation program. Are you available to do lectures?
We are currently. I'm not available because I am wanting to get Snow Bear done. At least I'm not available in person. Now we've been able to do Skype lectures and things like that. That's another story, and we can maybe work something out there. But as far as being in person, that's going to take a while.
But if you go to the homepage of creatureartteacher.com, there's a little thing that says booking right on the homepage. Click on that, and we can try to get something on the schedule. Do you think it's a good idea as
No.
a student to copy shots from Disney?
Well, I mean, you'll definitely learn something if you're trying to copy like Milk Call animation or something like that, or any of them for that matter. Sure. I mean, it's like, for me, it's like, when I was in college in illustration, majoring in illustration, one of the things we had to do was copy an old master's painting. And it was amazing how much we learned in that process.
Roger says, hello, I was trying to draw horses and I stumbled across some of your videos. They are really good. They gave me a good base to start my studies. Thank you for those videos. Now I'm studying wolf anatomy.
Oh, that's great.
Well, Roger, I don't know if you know this, but on our website, creatureartteacher.com, Aaron has a full class on how to draw horses.
I think that's what he was talking about.
Well, I wasn't sure if he stumbled you on YouTube or not. So I was just,
Gotcha.
because you've got some demos on there. We've also got a full course on how to draw wolves, coyotes, and foxes. And we've got courses on how to draw bears. I'm pretty sure
Big cats.
later this year, hopefully big cats. Yep. How to draw big cats. I'm hoping later this year we'll have primates and reptiles, or at least one of those after Snow Bear's done. So we've got tons of animal drawing. And here's a question I'm going to combine with I'm combining two questions. What do you think of AI art? And what do you think of the new AI video stuff?
The AI video stuff is scary.
The Sora, that hadn't been released since our last public stream. So
Yeah. My opinion on AI, if you guys have seen my video where I talk about AI, specifically with the Corridor crew, my opinion's changing. I think it's not so much too negatively, but I think AI is going to, I think it's going to affect us a lot more than I realized. And at the time, I just couldn't wrap my little head around it. I think AI is going to become a tool whether we like it or not. I think there's definitely a need for ethical AI, but I think I can actually start. And I don't mean, and I'm not advocating going out and doing this, but I'm just saying I can see it being used, and I've seen it being effectively used in development sort of things, and helping to come up with ideas, but then taking those ideas and running with them on your own. I don't personally do that, but I've seen it done, and I don't know, but it's got to be ethical, right? So I don't. That's a long discussion that I don't know if I'm prepared to talk about.
Well, and frankly, I think it's an evolving discussion, just like opinions. I mean, I think things are changing so fast in that
Yeah.
space. There's good, bad. I even though there's nuance and the opinion is evolving. I mean, I think I still settle on just make the art you want to make, and
Yeah.
you can't spend your whole life worried about that stuff. And
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think a lot of people get all hung up about it, but and they're and screaming about it, but they're not creating the art at the same time.
and I've seen some people say, "Why even bother making art?" Because AI is going to come along and
That
put
to me
everybody
is a
out of business.
crap excuse right there.
And yeah, I mean, to me, it's going to the film and game industry are just that. They're industries. So it gets a little confusing, right? Because people do art for their personal enjoyment. They do art because they want to have it as, say something meaningful to the world. And so some people see the whole idea of AI art as the antithesis of that. And I'm not coming out in support of AI art. Don't misunderstand. But there's the business side to the industry part, right? And they're a business. So these tools are coming one way or the other. There's a lot of legal stuff that's going to have to be worked out with it.
It's already being used.
Yeah, it's already
being used, and in ways that are completely. I'll guarantee you, it's slipped by us, and we haven't even noticed it in a lot of cases.
Yep.
It's a weird reality that we're coming into. It's really crazy, really crazy.
Same. Martin says, looking forward for the primates course.
Oh, I already know.
How do you know?
Now Zanji says, and this I'm going to paraphrase his analogy here a little bit, but he basically says it's sort of like why bother baking a frozen pie? Why bother baking when frozen pie exists? In this example, you'll never keep up with the machine if you're selling pie, but it can still be a great hobby or something passionate to do. Maybe that's a little bit of the aspect that freaks people out. And I would say yes, but also just because mass produced pie exists doesn't mean people don't still go to restaurants and have homemade pie.
Really good analogy, Zalji. Yeah.
I don't think I know I made the joke of it being artisanal handcrafted art. There's going to be a demand for that, but I really do think there will be. I think
Yeah, the human touch will always be something desired, I think.
Do you have any recommendations for getting my art portfolio out there?
Social media. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Have a strong social media, or I should say, have a strong social media presence. Have your work out there on social media for people to access it. That's pretty much how it's done now, or have a website, and that's how people's work gets seen. And always be updating it.
Yep. And you should be taking your older stuff out. Well, not necessarily your older stuff. You should, over time, you don't want a portfolio full of student work. You want to update that with either professional work or projects that you do on your own time because, and I'm not sure what type of portfolio you're talking about, but one of the problems look at it from the point of view of somebody that reviews these portfolios at a company.
Which is what I used to do at Disney.
Yep. And I used to teach portfolio class, and they all look the same because everybody's doing the same lessons. Yes, individual people can draw better or whatever, but when you're looking at the same drawing again and the same exercises again and again and again, you can tell, oh, that's a Ringling portfolio, that's a Savannah portfolio, and you can tell all that without even seeing the names on them. My suggestion would be, do as much as you can to get as much original work in there as possible.
These are fun. Love, just doing development work like this, just coming up with just little design ideas. So much fun just to sit down and do that. Say, hey, what if? What if we did this? What if we had this?
What? What if?
What if?
What if exactly?
Claudia just texted me and says, yeah, Nick, we need to put on your calendar. Nick needs to take a vacation.
Yeah.
Actually, we were just talking about you're going to try to go. I know it's not really a vacation, but you're going to try to go see the solar eclipse, right?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until about 3 days out when I can accurately predict the weather in any given place. And wherever it's going to be clearest, we're going to pack up the truck and head on out.
Petropolis on YouTube says, I'm getting Dinotopia vibes from this.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could kind of see that. But just, look how you can be inspired by nature, by, different aspects of nature.
Or Dinotopia could make for a really good show if done right.
Oh, yeah. James Gurney. I love that book.
Mm-hmm.
I remember years ago, before I knew James Gurney, he was such an art god to me. I didn't know who he was.
Wasn't there even like a pop-up version of the Dinotopia
I don't
book?
know.
I could have sworn there was.
Zanji might know.
Do you know Atul Panasi? He's a great Indian watercolor artist based in Dubai. If not, please check out his work.
I will. I don't know him. And
I don't think I will.
I definitely will check him out. Would you just say, I don't think I will?
Yeah, I don't think I will. Maybe
No,
another
thank
time.
you.
No, thank you.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, these are cool.
There's another one. What do we got? We're an hour and 15 minutes in.
Again, if you're just joining us, I want to let you know that this is the last chance to get Aaron Blaze's character design course for just $1. Go to creatureartteacher.com/learn. You can get Aaron Blaze's character design course for just $1. This is the last weekend to get that. It's over 16 hours long, 20 plus videos. It's probably our most popular course on our website. It's a great, great class. It's a great, great price. And I would not miss it if I were you. Also, you've got a chance.
Sounds like a threat. That sounded like a threat.
I would not miss it if I were you.
I have a particular set of skills.
If you know what's good for you, you'll get the course. But check it out. Don't miss it. It's not going to last. This is it. Last call for real.
Last call for alcohol.
Last call there, bud.
We've got a brand new course from Armand Serrano out today. Go to creatureartteacher.com, learn all about it, and you can
Learn
get
all about it.
how to draw human anatomy for just $1.
I like this pose too, so we're going to do this one next. But so far, I'm digging these. Kind of like, got a fun vibe to them. Got to come up with some different mechanics on them.
Do you often explore various topics and interests that are current to gather ideas for your projects?
Well,
I mean, we're always...
I'm always looking at what my project dictates what I research, not whether it's current or not. But we're always looking at current ways of doing things, I think, if I'm answering the question right.
Well, also, sometimes, we'll be inspired by something in the news or some current topic. If you're talking about topics, anything could inspire a topic for a story. But I would agree, yeah, the project itself dictates the research. Oh, and Tom Doing Art says, please tap the thumbs up and like button on this stream. Well, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, if you're watching us, please help us spread the word on these streams. Hit those like buttons, hit those share buttons, hit the subscribe buttons.
Spread the word.
Definitely helps us a lot. Oh, and you know what we can show?
What can we show?
The plaque.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and pull it out. Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago,
Yeah. It's our personal letter from YouTube. Oh, got a little bent.
From the tubes of you.
There's our 1 million subscribers. 1 million people signed up. We're up to like 1,080,000 now. Something like that on YouTube. But this is what you get when you cross 1 million. Oh, let's do this. Let's take that off. So that's what you get when you cross. That's what you get when you cross 1 million.
we're going to try to find a good spot for it so it's in the background of the set. It's probably going to go
Over here.
here.
That's, compare it to the, let's bring that one over.
Yeah, this is the old, and they don't make them like this anymore.
Oh, they don't?
Yeah, you still get one.
They don't make them like this anymore.
You still get one at 100,000, but it looks like this.
Oh, is it this big?
I don't know.
That's the old $100,000 or $100,000. That's the 100,000 subscriber
That's the original.
plaque. And then here's the million. Here you go.
Yeah, hold that up for Nick, hold it up for size comparison.
Yeah, there's the two. Go over to the this way.
Other way. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, we got that since the last stream. So
All right. Back to drawing.
Yeah.
Enough self-congratulations.
yeah, we just wanted to share that with you guys, though, because I know a lot of people were wondering. How do you lower the texture on your pastel sea brush? Mine seems not as smooth as yours is on the screen.
It's the size of your canvas. The bigger the canvas, the smoother it will be. because if you're probably working on a smaller canvas, which means your brushes having to be smaller, and the texture on the brush does not scale up or down.
Aaron works at typically at 300 DPI.
Yeah, and these images are 18 by 24 inches, so it's a big detailed image.
Twitch comment. Hello, Aaron and chat.
Hello.
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 Hello there.
Hello there.
You can have him looking. I'm going to have him look right at camera, right at the viewer.
Facebook question. Are the elephants in Kenya or Tanzania aggressive at all when you went there, Aaron?
Tanzania, yes. Kenya, no. Kenya didn't have as much, or at least where we went in Kenya, they didn't have as much of a poaching issue as Tanzania did.
Do you still remember Sergio Pablos?
I know Sergio Pablos very well.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to try to plan something with him in the near future.
Yes.
Sergio's a pretty amazing guy. For people who don't know, he came up with Despicable Me. He directed Klaus. He's currently working on another 2D animated film called, what's it called?
Is it Flame or
No, Ember.
Ember, there it is.
Yeah.
I knew it had something to do with sparks.
And he's also an amazing animator, been in the industry for many years.
All around great.
Has his own animation studio, Spa Studios,
Spa.
based out of Madrid, I believe. Yeah, when I mentioned all those courses, I forgot to mention that next week I'm going to be with Woody Woodman filming a course on figure drawing.
Yes, yes. Hmm. Sorry, I'm just kind of roughing this in, trying to find my way here. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do. having these. This has a solid piece for some reason. Well, it just feels kind of cool to do that. Make that wing a little bigger. A little bigger.
Not a finger.
Do you know Dave Alvarez?
I don't know Dave Alvarez. Who's Dave Alvarez?
I don't know.
All right, let's come up with a...
Comic strip artist. Comic strip artist, character designer, and storyboard artist.
Wow. Jack of all trades. All right, let's see here.
My niece loves art, and I think she would be very interested in taking your class. Am I able to send it to her as a gift? Yes, all of our classes can be sent as a gift. You go right to the product page for a particular course, and right below the add to cart button, you'll see what looks like a little paper airplane, and it says gift this course, and you can click that and you can send it to anybody you want. You can even schedule it to be delivered on a particular date and time. So if it's their birthday or holiday.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
There we go.
There we go. This guy just had a Red Bull.
He's got wings.
Red Bull gave him wings.
I like this one. This is kind of cool.
This is kind of awesome.
If you looked up, this is what you might see. There we go. There. All right, I got the framework done. I'm digging that.
Also, I want to let people know that Aaron's, we don't have a slide for this, Justin, but our how to draw our 100 drawings book, we have less than 100 copies of this.
Oh, yeah. We have less than 100 copies of our 100 drawings book.
Yeah.
Right here,
we're
Dustin.
We're going to start removing drawings from...
There we go.
Yeah, we're going to start removing drawings from
the
our
book.
100 drawings book.
So order now and you get the most drawings, because if you're the last person to order, it'll be the one drawing book.
That's right.
There's 50 drawings left.
But yeah, we've got less than 100 copies of Aaron's 100 drawings book. They're all pen and ink original drawings. Go to creatureartteacher.com/books and order a copy before it's out of print.
All right.
I like making these big goggles.
Definitely not rushing you or anything. Just curious how long.
After we finish this one, we'll switch over.
Okay. So for people who don't know, once this drawing is done, Aaron and I and Dustin are going to jump over to our members only Discord server where we'll be doing a continuation of this plus a little Q&A session, I think,
Yep.
with our members at creatureartteacher.com. So if you're not a member yet, you can go become an annual or monthly member. The real at creatureartteacher.com. Sorry. I'll post a link to the memberships as well. And Chris wants to know, when is volume 2 of 100 drawings coming out?
Well, we don't have that planned quite yet.
We think the next book is going to be a sketchbook
Yeah, I want to do a book of
your
of all my sketchbooks.
Yeah.
A compilation of all my sketchbooks.
And then I would like to do 100 more drawings at some point, a pen and ink drawing thing.
Yeah.
And then I'd also really, really want to do instructional books. Aaron's approach on animation and his approach on character design.
Yeah.
as
That one,
books.
I'm really excited about doing those too.
But they're way more involved from a...
Yeah, getting them ready and out the door.
Are there signed copies left? Yes, you can still get signed copies of the 100 drawings book, as well as the Art of Aaron Blaze Volume 2 hardback book. Do any of you know if there's a way to mess with music without having to buy instruments? I'd love to play around with some sound, but I don't have the money to buy instruments. Well, yes, if you can get a basic keyboard, that's what MIDI is all about. If you do a little research on MIDI, get a MIDI keyboard and you use a program like either Ableton or Pro Tools, you use the keyboard to play pretty much every instrument in the world. Even drums.
Yep.
How do you go about finding composers for your animation?
You know, that's a tough one. It's a lot of knowing people that know composers.
I can say this, more than almost anything that I've gotten emails about have been solicitations is the wrong word, but composers contacting us saying, hey, I'd love to work with Aaron on a future thing. You know, these are usually aspiring or student composers.
Yeah.
In the case of our Penguin short that we did, that the music was done by Max Mueller, who did an amazing job. That was an introduction. We were introduced to him through CTN. CTN out in California is the Creative Talent Network. They're actually not just, they're physically located in California, but it's an online network where people can interact in the industry. So Tina Price was kind enough to refer us to Max.
And that was a great experience working with Max on that project. Just absolutely awesome.
But I mean, a whole lot of any field, especially the art field, but a whole lot of any field is who you know and introductions and personal referrals. And so that's why networking is important. If you have the opportunity to go to things like Lightbox or CTN or, professional events that might be in your city,
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend it, because that eventually over time is how build up a network of contacts.
You
And
know, our composer on Snow Bear is going to be Mark Mancina. And I worked with Mark Mancina on Brother Bear. He also did Moana and Tarzan and all kinds of stuff. And it was because I had worked with him in the past that I was able to find him, and I just called him up, and we were able to connect again. But there's other aspects of our film that we're making that I don't know the first place to start. And so I'm leaning on people that I know in the industry to help us out in order to find these people. A colorist, a sound supervisor, those types of things. So I want this to be a good example too of the more you know about stuff or you research whatever, the better you can come up with kind of crazy sci-fi, whatever. It's my wildlife and animal anatomy knowledge that's helping me out with figuring this design out. And the reference, of course, but just having the knowledge, understanding how wings work and all of that, it all comes into play as you design.
Mackenzie says, I've been coloring on Procreate lately to zone out after work, and I love it. I need to start your course on that so I can learn how to use the program properly. Well, as part of our 10-year anniversary sale, that How to Draw on Procreate course is only $10.
Yep.
Along with 10 other courses, by the way.
10 other courses are only $10.
Yep. It's our 10-year anniversary sale. So 10 courses are $10. See what I did there?
I see.
Clever.
Clever girl.
Zalji has question.
Downji.
Zalji,
Who's that guy?
what role does colorist have? I thought that was settled as you color in frames.
No, it's more about the export. It's more about making sure that when it's done, your color is consistent all the way through, that you have the right color profiles for theaters.
There's also color grading in terms
Color
of
grading. It's more of a technical position.
especially in live action. Color grading is a massive deal, because
Yeah.
let's say you've got 3 different cameras, you're trying to make the cuts look consistent. That usually falls on the colorist.
It's not. It's made easier nowadays with digital exports, especially in animation, because everything's being done digitally. And if you have color corrected monitors as you're working, then there's not a lot of variation in the color, if any. It just depends on the monitors that and the file format. When it was really important was when we were working on film. Back on Brother Bear, our exports were on film, and boy, it's amazing how different a shot was from one shot to the next. And with our art director would spend weeks and weeks and weeks at Technicolor going through the entire film shot by shot, balancing it all out.
If you could have dinner with 3 celebrities or people you find inspirational, who would you choose other than Nick and Dustin? I may have added that last.
Yeah.
I'll always say Glenn Keane, because Glenn Keane's always been an inspiration to me, and I like hanging out with the guy. And Billy Connolly for sure. I love Billy Connolly, and he's just a smart, great comedian. He's not doing well nowadays.
You got one more.
I have to think about that. Celebrities. David Attenborough. I would love to have dinner with David Attenborough.
V on Facebook says Gary Oldman, so I can meet him.
Vedanta would want me to say Gary Oldman.
That's
for
who
sure.
said it.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh,
V, yeah.
All right, Gary Oldman to shut my wife up.
Mr. Ambiguous says Jeff Bridges is one, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely Jeff Bridges.
Hello from Thailand. I might watch the replay of this later since it's 3 a.m. here, but I wanted to say hi.
Wow.
Oh.
Hardcore, man. That's awesome.
Hardcore.
Thank you. Hardcore.
And Rada asks, Aaron, can you share what we should do to learn to draw in the Disney style?
I said Disney style earlier, and it's not. I think there's a style of full animation that Disney does, but I can't really pin down a Disney style of drawing, because to me the style changes. I don't know. It's caricatured realism in a way, but then of course you got the traditional Disney characters that aren't necessarily real. I don't know what to tell you. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's sorry, I was counting some of the feathers. For me, it's a way of animating. It's that full style of animation. It's very volumetric approach also.
Now, if you're talking animation style,
well, that's the thing. I just don't see I don't know of a visual style.
yeah,
Because
that's
it changes. Yeah.
That's what
That's
I'm
what
saying.
I was saying.
yeah.
From the animation standpoint, it's that full. What I was saying earlier, but
Right, yeah.
Julia's here. Julia says, hey, everybody, just got home from dance class. How's everybody? How's it going? What are we doing?
I guess from a Disney look standpoint, there's certainly a look to the 90s films, probably because they were the first ones that were digitally colored. And in terms of color, they tend to have a certain look of a certain number of colors in your color palette for character. They don't look like the Vincent Van Gogh painted movie or, what I mean? There's a Disney look that way.
Yeah, but is there, or I mean, I think DreamWorks 2D animation,
Yeah, it looks a lot like, yeah.
you'd be hard pressed to tell me what the difference is. And I'd say, but you could say, well, DreamWorks is doing a Disney style. I was like, okay, maybe.
Have you seen The Prince of Egypt?
Yes, that was one of the things I was on my brain when I was talking about the Disney style.
Yeah, great anime feature. How different is 3D from 2D animation process?
Um, Completely.
Yeah.
The 2D, you're drawing it. 3D, you're not. I don't know what else to. I mean, the tools are completely different. The fundamentals of animation aren't any different. But as far as the process, the way things are done is completely different. But they're always there to achieve the same things, though, too. So.
Yeah, because when it comes to 2D, like the supervisor would for a particular character, like say you with Yao, like you had to, yeah,
I would
you
do
had,
just that character.
yeah,
Yeah.
you had to design and build that character and show the emotions and everything for everyone else that were under you to be able to follow an anime.
Didn't
Meanwhile-
build them, just designed them and drew them.
Yeah,
So you're using 3D terms there. He didn't get built.
no, but you did design them.
I did.
And meanwhile, in CG animation, like there's designing the character, but then you have to send the designer or send the design to the builders, the riggers, the modelers,
Yeah.
and there's a whole.
And then the animation process, usually there's, everybody does all the characters in 3D, whereas in 2D, you're cast on a character, just like an actor is cast on a role. And you do just that character throughout the story, throughout the movie.
Although I do have to admit uh, being part of the filming for Joey's special effects course really blew my mind on the complexity of the 2D animation
Oh, yeah.
for special effects.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
YouTube
Yeah,
comment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
No. You can finish her.
No, it's just sure we have all this beautiful like CG water and everything in like Moana and other films, but like they had to do that by hand.
Yeah, man.
Like
Pretty incredible.
frame by frame. Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Oh, this was just somewhat off topic, but not really. Just somebody said of the 90s movies, I think Little Mermaid had the best acting, which I thought was kind of funny because Little Mermaid came out in 1989. So it's technically an 80s movie.
It is an 80s movie, yeah.
But it definitely gets lumped in with the 90s Renaissance, right?
Yeah. I find it interesting that they feel it had the best acting.
Little Mermaid like technically the start of Renaissance?
Somewhat. I think Oliver and Company was probably in there as well.
That's when Disney was starting to push a little bit more into the musical side of things.
Well, which is what Oliver and Company was.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Oliver and Company was one of those pushing its way in. Do you know when Snow Bear's coming out?
Well, hopefully by the end of the year. That's our goal.
I thought you said it was coming out tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't get the rumor started.
It's coming out next week, folks. Spread the word. You don't seem to draw on a white canvas. Why?
Because I like to work on a mid-tone allows me to see my values a little bit better. I like adding light. It's almost like sculpting form on a two-dimensional surface, because I can bring my highlights out, and I can do my darks as well. And so when you're working on a white canvas, all you can do is go darker. But I like to be able to go lighter as well and get the image to kind of pop off the screen. Allows you to better gauge your values.
What are your best videos for traditional animation?
Well, I've got a course on an introduction to for what animation?
Traditional.
Yeah, I've got a course on introduction to traditional animation. I've also got courses on acting for animation, which are all done traditionally. I've got quite a few different ones.
In fact, the Acting for Animation course is only $10 right now as part of our 10-year anniversary sale. And also, you have another course on animation called Advanced Animation, Separating Performance from the Mechanics.
Exactly.
And that is also only $10 as part of that sale. We've got a course on Procreate Dreams. It's only $1.
$1.
Wow.
Ah. Come on, you got to buy it. It's only $1.
Less than the price of a cup of coffee. For less than the price of a cup of coffee. Why not ask for more? An SNL skit. But why? Why a cup of coffee?
Buy a cup of coffee. Graveyard Shift on YouTube says, I love the way y'all are working so chill. We just go for the ride, man. Buggy's Treehouse says, I got the $1 course. Woohoo! Huh. What'd you do in East meets West animation?
East meets West. No. That's a cool idea. I had to wrap my head around it for a second. What you were saying. I like that idea. There we go. Put a little. It's flying in front of the sun.
That's very cool.
Very nice.
Put him. Yes.
Have you ever seen Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron?
Oh, yes, many times. I know it well.
I've actually never seen it. I heard it was excellent.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good.
James Baxter, right?
Yeah.
Narrated by Matt Damon.
So there's our 3 flying machines we did today.
Yeah.
Those are fun. I have a good time making these. These are a lot of fun to make. And I'm going to be making some more. We're going to go on over to our Discord, members only Discord, and we're going to continue drawing there. How do you want to tell everyone to? If you want to be, if you want to join us, if you're not a member, go on over to creatureartteacher.com, become a member, and you can join us on Discord.
Yeah, we'll be back over there on the Discord, and give us about 10 minutes to kind of break down, get set up. Before we wrap up here, I want to remind people we've got some sales going on over at creatureartteacher.com. If you go to the site this weekend, you still have time to get our character design course for only $1. That is a 16-hour course, includes over 20 videos. You're going to learn everything Aaron knows about character design that he learned from Disney and some of his mentors and tips he developed along the way. Really is an amazing course. Plus, starting this week, that's your last chance to get that course for $1. But starting this weekend, you can now get how to draw human anatomy for only $1.
$1.
Those 2 courses, by the way, were actually conceived together. So if you get them both this weekend, that's only 2 measly bucks.
Yep.
So there you go. Less than the price of a cup of coffee.
Only $2.
Right.
And we've got a brand new course from Armand Serrano out today for just $10. He takes you through his process of how to draw and paint a background digitally. It's an amazing course. It's really well done. That guy knows his stuff. He's also got a great course on visual development available on our website as well. I suggest you pick them both up while they're on sale as part of our 10-year anniversary at creatureartteacher.com. We've also got brand new hoodies and mugs available. Go to creatureartteacher.com/merch. You can check those out. And I think we can wrap it there, everybody. What do you think?
Yeah, so let's go back to the screen, Dustin. I just want to do one more review. So here is we did the 3 images. This is our first one. And here is our second one flying right at us. It was kind of fun. And then our third one with our Icarus flying in front of the sun character right there. So try this out. Try taking nature and changing it and be inspired by it and see what you can come up with. That's what we're doing here, just having fun coming up with these little flying machines. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to take a little bit of a break, 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're going to be over on Discord. So thanks a lot, you guys. And like I said, if you want to join us over there, become a member at creatureartteacher.com. Otherwise, we'll see you back here in a month.
Yeah,
we'll see you the Friday of April.
First Friday of April. And if you are going to be joining us on the Discord, we'll see you at 3:15 Eastern Time.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.